Michigan Times. We're here with Neil Fallon of Clutch here at the machine shop today. Oh man, how excited are you about playing tonight?
I'm very excited.
Oh man, when was the last time you guys played at the machine shop?
It wasn't that long ago. It was maybe last summer. I can't keep it straight. We played here a bunch of times, and the shows are always good.
Absolutely. It sold out pretty quickly this time.
Yeah, it did. And this actually is going to be the kind of concluding show of the Earth Rocker North American portion of our world tour.
Absolutely.
So we go home tomorrow, so that's another reason we're excited.
Oh, very cool. Why did you choose to end it at the machine shop?
Well, this tour was initially supposed to happen in October, but I had to get some surgery, so that we had to reschedule to now. I think that was, you got to end it somewhere, and they had an opening on whatever that date was back in October.
Okay.
So now it's January.
Absolutely. I saw you guys earlier this year at Rock on the Range, and I interviewed with Gene Paul, and then I saw you guys also at the Fillmore in Detroit just a couple months ago as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Both really good sets.
Thank you.
I love that you guys played Space Grass at the Fillmore. That's one of my favorite songs.
Right on.
What's one of your favorite songs that you guys have out?
Well, we have a song on Earth Rocker called Gone Cold, which is sort of a very quiet and mellow song for us, and I like playing that because you can clean out the ears a little bit in the middle of the set, and it gives a chance to kind of exhale. And it's a lot more challenging to play delicately than it is to hit your vocals and drums and guitars as hard as you can. It takes a bit more finesse, and I think I like the challenge of that.
Absolutely. Do you have any different things to help your voice before a show that you do, or?
Well, I do warm-ups. I didn't used to. I maybe started that about a year and a half ago. And it's more about what you don't do. You know, don't drink a lot of coffee. Don't stay up all night. You know, learn how to shut your mouth. That's a big thing, and it usually comes across as being rude. But at the end of the day, sometimes you got to be rude in order to
Preserve your voice.
to do a show.
Absolutely.
But you know, all in all, just try not to act like I did when I was 18.
Absolutely. Who would you say would be some of your biggest idols as a vocalist? What would be some other vocalists that you idolize?
Oh man, I'm a big Tom Waits fan. I'm a big Nick Cave fan. Chuck D from Public Enemy was a big thing for me growing up, because when we started out, I was not at all inclined or interested in melody, because I didn't know how to do that, and I had to teach myself that. So I gravitated towards people like Chuck D, who was much more rhythmically based, obviously, and Tom Waits. It was a revelation to learn that you could still have beauty in melody, but it's more about the character and the delivery than it is any kind of perfection, because perfection is boring. So I think those are first 2-3 guys that come to mind.
Absolutely. Wonderful. What do you guys have in store for the future since this tour is concluding, and then what are we looking at for the rest of this year?
Well, we still got a couple other places we need to go. We go to Australia in February. Then we do the United Kingdom and Ireland in April. And then in June, we go back to Europe and do some festivals. And that's about it. This whole summer is going to be dedicated towards writing the next record. There's not going to be a lot of Clutch shows. Okay. So you have to wait a little while.
Have you started on the album at all?
Yeah. We were just rehearsing a song that hopefully we'll get out on a 7-inch for Record Store Day in April.
Okay.
But we want to really capitalize on the momentum that we built up with Earth Rocker, because people's attention spans are very short these days, and you got to keep hounding them. So, and I think it's easier to write if it's like a muscle. If you're working it and using it, then it's easier to keep going. If you rest on your laurels and decide to take a vacation, it's hard to get back into the swing of things.
Absolutely. Little fun question. What's your favorite color?
My favorite color? Ultraviolet.
Ultraviolet?
Yeah.
Oh man. Not black like most fans? I've
Well,
heard black probably every single time.
I mean, it's pretty easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't own any ultraviolet clothes. Infrared is good too. You know, the two ends of the spectrum of visible light. But let's not get scientific, shall we?
Absolutely. What would be some of your favorite bands that you've toured with this year or last year, 2013?
This bill is great. Crowbot and the Sword. And the Sword, fantastic band.
You had the Sword with you at the Fillmore, correct?
Yeah.
On that tour, yeah.
Yeah. These were kind of supposed to be two legs of one tour. They were a great bunch of guys, great band. We've been doing shows with them for ages. And let's see who else. We toured with a oh jeez, I'm having a brain fart. So let's just leave it at that. We've toured with we've done a lot of great shows with bands.
Absolutely. Did you guys have fun at Rock on the Range this year?
Sure, because yeah, it was a good show, but I couldn't tell you who else played. Who else played?
Soundgarden
I
and
didn't see that.
Korn was there.
Didn't see that.
You guys played on Saturday, correct?
Yeah.
And that was Smashing Pumpkins.
Did not see that. I think I watched one or two bands, but usually after one of our shows, it takes a lot of coaxing to get me to go listen to another loud band. I like to listen to the wind.
Yeah.
It's peace and quiet.
Absolutely. If you were to go to any show in the world for that record, what show would you want to go to, or what other bands do you really like to see perform?
Well, I've never seen Tom Waits, to bring his name up again. I would like to see that. He doesn't do a whole lot of shows these days. I'd like to see Leonard Cohen. Who else? That was, those are two artists that immediately come to mind. I would have liked to have seen Pink Floyd, but I guess I won't now. It's a big bummer for me. Yeah, those are some that come to mind. I mean, I'm sure I'll think of a dozen other as soon as you turn that camera off. But
Absolutely. What would be some bands that you would look forward to touring with in the future? I know you guys have Lion Eyes under your record label. Are you gonna have them tour with you guys soon?
Well, that was really remiss of me not to mention their name, because despite the fact that Weathermaker, our record label, is putting out their record, we've toured with those guys many, many times, and they're an amazing live band. Great. They do something very unique, a lot of vocal harmonies and really interesting song arrangements. And they're fun to tour with too. That's half the battle. And sometimes you tour with great bands and they're jerks. And sometimes you tour with terrible bands, but they're really nice guys. But sometimes you get both, and that's an example. Lion Eyes and who else should we tour with? I think if we did a tour with Primus, that would be pretty good. That's a band I think would be fun to tour with. And
I saw that you guys toured with Slayer back in the day.
yeah, we did, and that was a lot easier than I kind of braced myself for. I thought we were just going to get lacerated every night.
Yeah.
But the crowds really dug us, particularly considering that it was the Elephant Riders record, which is kind of a quirky record. We toured with them. We toured with Motorhead twice, and that was amazing.
Awesome. So are you excited about tonight's sold-out show?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
do
you like the small venue atmosphere or the big venue atmosphere when it comes to sold-out crowds?
It really depends. You can do an enormous show and the crowd are a bunch of mouth breathers, or you could do a small nightclub and it's just absolute mayhem, or vice versa. Just because it's in a small place doesn't mean it's always good. These shows are always good, and that's one of the nice things about coming to the machine shop is half the work is done for you because the crowd is pretty maniacal to begin with, at least for Clutch. And I used to not like doing bigger shows, but I've kind of gotten accustomed to it. The only thing I do miss is there comes a point where there's so many faces they become almost like TV snow or just anonymous. Whereas you have somebody who's 4 feet from you, you can smell the dude.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Absolutely. Do you think the crowd's going to be going crazy tonight, like normal?
I don't know. It's a Sunday night, but tomorrow's A lot of people don't have to go to work, so that usually means people are going to imbibe more than they usually would. So that always makes our job easier too. They're less critical.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for meeting with us
Sure.
today. We'll
That's
be
fine.
excited to take photographs tonight and get in the crowd and have some fun.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much for meeting with us, Neil.
That's what.